Good afternoon, Crusaders. Welcome back to another episode of Updates from Monroe Woodbury Middle School. Hey there, Crusaders. At the end of Teacher Appreciation Week, I just want to say thank you to all of the amazing teachers at Monroe Woodbury Middle School. You all are outstanding. I would even say you're out of this world. Get it? It's a joke. Okay, now let's get to the updates. Okay, so for our first update, plans. We are doing a lot of planning right now. We are planning for some of the end of year activities that we are going to have to make alternative arrangements for, especially including the 8th grade moving up ceremony. We're thinking about you 8th graders, and we are certainly going to recognize your accomplishments in moving on to the high school. And we are also planning for the re-entry of the building to gather belongings, the things that you left in your locker, instruments, in your phys ed locker, all of those things. We're creating a safe and orderly plan for you to be able to retrieve those items. Now let's hear some updates from our assistant principals. AP updates, starting off with you, Mrs. Dudgeon.
Hello, Monroe Woodbury Middle Schoolers. Hope you had a great week. Today we are halfway through the 4th quarter. Hopefully you found time to make up some of your work in your Google Classrooms, and you'll find time this weekend to read a good book. Have a great weekend. See you next week. Hey middle schoolers, as you can see, this place is just not the same without you. Looking forward to a time when we can all be here in the cafeteria enjoying good times again.
Thank you so much for the update, Mrs. Dudgeon. You're absolutely right. It just doesn't look as fun in the building without everybody in it. Let's go on to Mr. Sullivan with his update for the week. Mr. Sullivan, it's all yours.
Good afternoon, Crusaders. I want to thank everyone who participated in our virtual Spirit Week. Please do not forget to send me any pictures for Purple Pride Day. We miss you and have a great weekend.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sullivan. Last but not least, let's head on to Mrs. Collins with her updates.
Hello, 8th grade. It was great to see so many of you at Thursday's virtual social studies field trip. Just a few reminders when you're on Google Meets. Make sure you're dressed appropriately, no bathrobes, and keep yourself muted the whole time. It was really hard to hear the speakers sometimes with some music in the background. Good news on the moving up ceremony. We have started to plan a virtual moving up ceremony. Same program, virtual location. More information will follow in the coming weeks. Have a great week, everyone. Get outside and enjoy the weather. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Collins, for that information. Now for our new segment to the show that I'm very excited about, updates from Student Council. Let's turn it over to the Student Council representatives.
Today on Good Evening Monroe Woodbury, some reading announcements from the library, some quarantine tips and tricks to do when you're bored, and yes, we did bring back words of wisdom. All this and more today on Good Evening Monroe Woodbury.
Thank you, Evan, and thank you so much for tuning in tonight. This is the MW Evening News. I'm Anthony Peroya. For our first story tonight, we go to Chase, live from his house with an update on Spirit Week. How we doing, Chase?
Hey Monroe Woodbury, what's going on? We hope you and your families are staying safe during these hard times. Thank you to all the people who participated in Spirit Week. Make sure to send your photos of you showing your MW pride to Mr. Sullivan so you can be in the slideshow. Also, thank you so much, teachers. We appreciate you to the max during these hard times, especially. Happy Teacher Appreciation Week. Back to you, Anthony.
Thank you so much, Chase. What a fun way to be featured. And now we go to Jacob, live from his house, with a story about a reading event put on by the MWMS library. Jacob?
Thank you so much, Anthony. And now a reading announcement. The MW Middle School Library is participating in a caught reading event all throughout the month of May. Please email a photo of yourself getting caught reading a book to Mrs. Lerner. Back to you, Anthony.
Alright, thank you so much, Jacob. Now we go to a story with Evan about some fun things you can do during quarantine. Evan?
Thank you, Anthony, and good evening, everybody. Today, I'll be sharing some fun things to do while bored in quarantine. Today's activity is to maybe play a board game. Some board games we have come up with as a team are Monopoly, Risk, Uno, Scrabble, Pictionary, and or Apples to Apples. Thank you, and back to you, Anthony.
Thank you, Evan. Sounds like fun. Now we go to live to Jacob with some words of wisdom. Jacob?
Now we have a little bit of words of wisdom for you guys today. Never let the things you want make you forget the things you have. That was said by Sanchita Pandey, and basically that kind of applies to quarantine life here, because as kids, we want to go out, we want to see our friends with like not 6 feet apart, but we have to do what we need to do. So next year, or in this summer, we can all be together, opposed to spreading the virus even more now. Alright, that's our words of wisdom for today. Back to you, Anthony.
How inspiring. Now we go to a story with Chase, thanking our healthcare heroes. Chase?
Dear healthcare workers, thank you for all that you have done and are doing. Whether it's keeping us safe, taking care of us, we thank you from the bottom of our hearts. But most importantly, for being our heroes. Thank you. Back to you, Aunt.
Alright, thank you so much for tuning in with us tonight. We also want to wish our district's mothers a happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to you all. This has been the MW Evening News. Please stay tuned for Mr. Masano's weekly update.
Thanks again for watching Monroe Woodbury, and have a Crusader day.
Great job, guys. That was awesome. Thank you so much for your updates this week, and we're really looking forward to next week's edition of Updates from Student Council. Well done. That's all for this week's edition of Updates from Monroe Woodbury Middle School. Thank you all for tuning in and joining us here on this beautiful Friday. We hope you all have a great weekend. Stay healthy, stay happy, stay well. If you need anything, as always, please reach out to us, send us an email. We're here to help and happy to do so. Have a terrific weekend, Crusaders. See you next time. No, of course, that's not really all for this week. We would be remiss if we didn't wish all of the mothers out there a happy Mother's Day. We hope that you enjoy the weekend. And kids, make sure you do something special for your mom this weekend. She deserves it. Thanks, Crusaders. See you next time.